The book fascinated him, or more exactly, it reassured him. In a sense, it told him nothing that was new, but that was part of the attraction. It said what he would have said if it had been possible for him to set his scattered thoughts in order. The best books, he perceived, are those that tell you what you know already. President Donald Trump has told reporters that he's not a big reader, but ironically, his election has been a boon for sales of dystopian literature. Fahrenheit 451, Brave New World, The Handmaid's Tale, all these grim old classics have jumped up the latest paperback bestseller list. But by far, the greatest beneficiary has been George Orwell's 1984. The book's American publisher announced plans for a special printing of 75,000 copies, and since President Trump's inauguration, sales for 1984 have increased by more than 9,000%. What's going on? Why does this novel, published more than 70 years ago, suddenly seem double plus relevant to so many readers? Let's read a few more specific quotations from the novel. In the end, the party would announce that 2 and 2 made 5, and you would have to believe it. This assault on math is now essentially happening in the Trump administration.
No one had numbers.
White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer told journalists that more people watched and attended Trump's inauguration than any other inauguration before.
Period.
He referenced photos and factually inaccurate numbers.
We know that 420,000 people used the D.C. Metro public transit yesterday.
But in reality, the factual evidence for Trump's fanciful ideas was nowhere to be found, and there's plenty of information disproving them. When memory failed and written records were falsified, the claim of the party to have improved the conditions of human life had got to be accepted, because it did not exist and never again could exist any standard against which it could be tested. In this passage, Orwell gets to the idea that the government can create its own version of truth and people will buy into it.
Don't be so overly dramatic about it.
Kellyanne Conway's explanation of Spicer's blatant misrepresentation of inauguration attendance was that he was offering
alternative facts.
This sounds a lot like the 1984 phrase doublethink, the process of rewriting the past to the party's liking. Don't you see that the whole aim of newspeak is to narrow the range of thought? In the end, we shall make thought crime literally impossible because there will be no words in which to express it. One of the major themes of 1984 is the idea that shrinking the English language would limit independent thoughts. Newspeak includes several of these made-up words like thought crime, doublethink, belly feel, duck speak. It sometimes feels like Trump is speaking in his own language.
It's happening bigly.
Beyond that, Trump's fluency in newspeak doesn't just come from fake words, but fake claims.
Because what's going on with voter fraud is horrible.
He says that millions of illegal voters kept him from winning the popular vote, and the science behind climate change is a Chinese hoax. Fortunately, we're not living under the dystopian terror that Orwell describes in 1984. Our new leader is not the manufactured icon of a supreme state. He's a supernova of insecurities, tweeting out his insults and threats to increasingly perplexed citizens who still, for the moment at least, enjoy the right to object in whatever language they choose.